Hey there folks and friends, Connecting Dots here. Today's date, July 31st, 2014, Fukushima Day 1238. Not sure if you caught the video 7 days ago. I uploaded this one called Radioactive Monkeys Discovered at Fukushima. Yes sirree, they suffer from fallout. Will there be mutations? There's a good chance there may be. Will there be deaths? No doubt. I've mentioned this before, low-level radiation, it's going to get you. Now, I also went on to talk about the Fukushima hounds. It's a website here where they promote a lot of YouTuber Beautiful Girl by Dana, his YouTubes and his and same as Kevin D. Blanche. So I joined the website so I could post a little bit of information and try to enlighten these folks, but I was banned immediately. And in the video of this one here, 1231, I went on to talk about, well, Beautiful Girl by Dana, how he's got it all wrong on Reactor 4. And you also notice here, if you did watch a video, I talked about Stacy Lane 74, Miss Melky the Clown, telling how they lie about me. Well, Beautiful Girl by Dana came back and left me a comment. Now, he never tackled about how they're lying about me, and I won't even get into his comment right away. Actually, I want to go tackle some of the comments that you folks have left, because it's one of the things here I've noticed ever since it's come to light that YouTube is actually collecting all your information, all your data, and since most of my subscribers, the largest proportion of you are between the ages of let's say I think 45 to 65. Many of you have just stopped leaving comments now, and I don't blame you. The data is being collected on everything you say and how you feel and how you think. And well, anyways, it's just nice to see that some of you are still responding. And this guy here, Running High, goes on to talk about how he's been following me since the BP oil spill. Nice to see there's an old-time follower. Now, Swami Alama here goes on to talk about Arnie Gunderson. I've already made videos on Arnie before, pointing him out. You'll have to go look in my Fukushima Day playlist. He's in there somewhere. I think it was Fukushima Day 1160 or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but his name's in the title. Long story short, even Kevin D. Blanche and Beautiful Girl by Dana, they're both calling him a shill. He's definitely a network nuclear industry shill. One of his, two big things, two big strikes against Arnie. The biggest one where he says that the nuclear industry can safely store spent fuel pool and any other radioactive garbage for thousands of years. We all know that's a lie. Come on, just look what's happening here in WIP in Texas. I mean, it's pretty evident they can't. Fukushima was a big wake-up call. Arnie, really? The biggest one was on CNN. He got on CNN, and this is when the air samples, the report had come out here, the results from 60 days of testing of the air in the city of Seattle, Washington, Seattle, and they did 60 days. The samples came back, and they found that people that were living in Seattle were breathing in, on average, 5 hot radioactive particles per day, per person, for roughly 60 days, I think is the test was. That's all we have. So if they continue on testing, we would have known what the samples were for the next 100 days. But lo and behold, he was just reporting on 60 days, and he's asked on CNN, should Americans be concerned about this? The correct answer was for Arnie was to say, yes, Americans should be concerned. Instead, we heard Arnie go on CNN giving us a political blah 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 blah, and only to end up saying, and that's why we're telling our friends to wash their vegetables and take their shoes off at the door. Folks, I think it's pretty clear that most of you that have been following radiation and the different isotopes and how they travel, it doesn't matter if you wash your vegetables or if you leave your shoes at the door. It's evident that Arnie was given bad information, even to his very own friends. And the really sad part is that these hot radioactive particles, they can go right through your door. The only way, I've mentioned in my past videos, to protect yourself was to have a positive air pressure environment. That means that when you open the door to your house, the air is dying to get out, and you have to have a HEPA filter that's actually bringing in this high pressure air into your house, because the HEPA filter is the only thing that's going to take everything out. Now, I'm not going to continue on with this, and I really like it when people like Natalie McBride call it out, and that's why, I'm sure you got more than 3 thumbs up, because one of the things I noticed, they kind of lock my thumbs up. They don't want your comment to be on the top, because there's too much common sense. Everyone feels the same thing. And by the way, no, Natalie, I won't go on a smear campaign, but I'm glad that Beautiful Girl by Dana stepped up here onto my own court, so I can actually blow a hole in him and let you guys know just how little he knows about this. And sure enough, it's another straw man argument changing it. I can't believe it. He goes on to say, how come they never rebuilt Chernobyl like you claim number 4 was rebuilt by homeless drunks that can't read or write? Number 1, I never said number 4 was rebuilt. So you're lying about that. Number 4 is not being rebuilt. They added an exterior structure because the reactor 4 structure, the top floors are blown out. There's no crane to pull out the spent fuel pool. They had to build another structure, a metal one, so they could put the structure over that. Watch my videos. I explained it very well. Obviously, you don't understand this about construction. You've been spending too much time underwater. You don't know how it works, and I'm about to give you a little lesson on how construction works when it comes to metal. So, the scaffold, yes, I've showed pictures of scaffolding. Chernobyl number 4 was a total meltdown, sarcophagus on it. Number 4 is spent fuel pool removal. No rebuilt here, not the same thing. Pictures of people with cutting torches, that's where I realize you don't know anything about construction, my friend. You've been spending too much time underwater. Now, you go on to talk about these 5,000 models. Yes, it's not 50,000. I made a mistake. But however, I did say it properly. I did say you'd come out with 100 dispersion maps in the first 50 days. I really don't care if I got that right or wrong, you know, to be honest with you. The biggest thing is the fact that you're telling people that reactor 4 is all fake when I'm about to give you a lesson in prefab and how it all works, my friend. Okay, so most metal structures that you see, the large, anything that's in a plant is built somewhere else in another plant. It's all welded there in another plant. There is no welding. They don't bring out all the equipment on site and start building these massive structures. Okay, do a little research here on prefab metal construction, and you'll soon find out it's a whole whack of it. This has been going on for years. I can't believe you don't even know about this. But regardless, quick education time for you, Dana, because like you said, you've been spending a lot of time underwater diving, and you just don't know much about the construction trade. And you go on to say how I'm just a painter. No, I know a lot more than painting. I just found painting was an easy way to make fast money without getting too dirty, and it allows me to move around to different towns and get lots of work. Okay, prefabrication. You may have noticed there in that last one, right? Where's all the scale saws? Where's, almost just a few carpenters there putting things up, right? That's the way it works, my friend. Prefab. Okay, unit number 4. Here we go, folks. This is really going to be his big wake-up call, because this is where he's telling people that number 4 is too weak and there's no way they could put anything on top. And as I mentioned before, that's why they didn't put anything on top. That new structure added to number 4 is all to take away the support. So the crane and everything else that would have been sitting on the sides here, okay, they're no longer using this concrete structure to run up and down and carry these spent fuel pools. I can't believe. And yes, number 4 was weak. They did put a whole bunch of scaffolding underneath, but believe me, the building didn't fall apart. It's still there. These are real pictures, okay? Simply Info, folks. Wake up. Sorry, I don't mean not to all of you, but I mean, and you know what, I don't even want to take it out on those of you that follow Dana, because it's one of the big things when you follow someone for a while and they got you hook, line, and sinker, and then someone else presents another point of view and you're like, it goes against your beliefs, and you get a little upset at that other guy because he's, whatever. I don't want to upset anyone. I actually hope this wakes you up at some point and you say, yeah, you're right, Dana. The guy's got tons of pictures showing that there is construction, and all you've got, Dana, is saying, well, they're TEPCO pictures and they're not real. Come on. Come on. Anyways, there's no scaffolding on site except for a little bit of scaffolding here I showed in one of my past videos. What we do have here is these large cranes that were carrying and lifting these big metal structures, okay? They come up in pieces here, okay? They're built in another site. That's where all these seams are, okay? They're built on site, and the cranes lift up the parts. And same here, the overhead crane here is lifting up this the elevator here, or the crane itself that lifts up the spent fuel pool. Okay, they're about to drop it in here. I can't believe, like, seriously, you haven't done any searches on this spent fuel pool construction or the building, I said, because there's enough pictures out there. Anyways, as I mentioned before, this building here is not sitting on number 4. There's no weight. It's independent and it's on its own. It was only built so they could build that crane back and forth to pull out the spent fuel pool. That's the only reason why this structure was built. They are not rebuilding reactor 4. It's done. Once the spent fuel's out of there, it's going to be decommissioned. Guaranteed. Okay, now the big wake-up call, Dana. Take a look here. You see how these columns are all painted gray? Look in the background here. This is all gray. This is that prefab structure I was telling you about. Okay? No, pay attention here. This is going to be a big wake-up call for you and your friends, because I know you're going around thinking TEPCO didn't take pictures of everything that's going on. It must be fake. No, it's real. So this is another reactor, and if you take a look in the background here, okay, this is that steel structure that's attached to the concrete in that building. That's right, because the top floors weren't blown up. In reactor number 4, the floors are blown off. They're blown right off. That's why they can't put any support on that. Come on, it only makes common sense. This is why they built that other. They didn't even want the weight of this crane sitting on top. So they cleared off everything. I've shown the pictures here. Everything's been cleared off, and they built this new structure to take the weight off number 4, because they had to take the spent fuel pool out. Okay, so like I said, these are all painted gray. And that other image, this is attached to the concrete. This is not trickery, folks. I don't know what to say. And as you can see here, that crane sitting on number 4, you know, that's the way to take the spent fuel pool out. I don't know what to say. This guy just doesn't seem to be on this. Now, as I mentioned before in my past videos, the casket comes down below and it's thrown on a trailer and brought into the common fuel pool. And there again, you get to see the gray structure here that's built somewhere else. Now, I don't do a lot of searches on YouTubers, and I did do a little bit of search on Dana just for a second, just to get a picture of him. And I came across this one, and I found it kind of odd that he's making videos on Fukushima radiation, and here he is puffing a smoke while he's making a video. Yeah. Anyways, no big deal. I realize a lot of you smoke. I've never smoked, but I've done a lot worse stuff in the past when I was an addict. So that's all behind me now. And I guess it's all part of waking up and realizing you're doing something wrong and time to change it. And I'm hoping some of you are going to watch this video and realize this guy's doing something wrong. And this other person here, Resist Radio, published June 29, 2012. Well, I hate to say it, but you know, Dana lies again. It just lies. I'll leave a link down below if you want to watch the whole thing. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Unless he goes and says a bunch of crap about me and in any of his videos, then maybe I may come back with a rebuttal on me. Or if he comes out with some outrageous comment or title in any of his videos, I'll bust it. You know, same as Dabu7. I hate to say it. You know, he's the same type of person that, and I'd say about 80% maybe truth. And then even at 80%, there's a fear-mongering factor that's thrown in there. And it takes time. And there's so many of these followers of these people, you know, they're young uninformed people, a lot of them don't take the time to do their own research. So they hear Dana or they hear Dabu say something, and it's, you know, they take it for granted that what this guy's saying is the truth, you know. I hate to say it, even with the Ebola, you know, how many of you have watched this Ebola scare? I bet you they haven't even done research on Ebola. How about they do research on colloidal silver and Ebola? Anyways, forget it. None of them are going to make a video on this stuff. They just want to scare the crap out of you. Okay, this is it. I'm done. Watch it. I mean, you can hear the last section here, what this guy said about Dana. It's sad. He calls him out.
Please watch my video that Beautiful Girl by Dana is trying to argue against, and you'll see that at no point do I state that US forces should be invading Libya. This is a strawman fallacy. He builds an argument which is totally false and then attempts to knock it down.
Okay, the link's down below if you want to watch the entire video. I'm done with this. Take care, folks. Hope you enjoyed the info.